Hey guys, it's Milo here for the Fellowship of Acoustics and welcome to a new episode of New Arrivals. As always, we're going to pick our 4 favorite new entries to our store and it's up to you to pick your favorite of the week. You can do so by leaving a comment down below or also vote in the poll in the community side of our YouTube page. As you can see, these racks are filled to the brim, so there will be very many interesting guitars in here. Last week your favorite was of course, the Martin D28 1945. The herringbone was of course the winner, a great sounding guitar it was. So let's see which one comes out on top this week. Let's go. We're going to start with a few 50s series Lowdens, so the really high-end Lowdens. Let me put them both here. This is an F50C, here's another F50C with slightly different tone woods. And then there's an S50J as well, so the nylon string. Rudy is actually going to design a guitar together with George Lowden for our 25th anniversary, and we will make a video about this, so I think that will be pretty interesting to see what they will come up with. So this is an F50C with some interesting tone woods as well. This one has a walnut back and sides. Check that out. A beautiful flamed walnut back and sides. Alpine spruce top, which looks really elegant. With the 50 series you get all the appointments, all the cosmetic details that Lowden has to offer. Beautiful bevel, the purfling here, abalone. A nice rosette, inlays on the fingerboard. So here we have another F50C. This time with a sinker redwood top, and this one has a master grade, also flamed koa back and sides, which looks really pretty. I think sinker redwood is one of George Lowden's favorite tone woods to use as a top. I'm really interested to see how this will combine with a koa back and sides. But let's add one more guitar to the mix, a totally different guitar though, also from the 50 series. Like I mentioned, the S50J. This one is second hand from 2021. And on this guitar we have another Alpine spruce top. And this time we have Guatemalan rosewood back and sides. Almost purplish sort of color to it. Some nice figuring here on the top. Almost like a bear claw. Wonderful. So a really nice crossover. Let's start with the F50Cs and compare them. Pretty difficult decision between the two. I think they're both fabulous sounding guitars. I enjoy sort of the lower mid-range of this one a bit more, a little bit warmer, but that one is clearer to my ears at least, so more openness in the top end, more sparkle. I think I enjoy that more. So that's the walnut and European spruce combination compared to the sinker redwood with koa. Then maybe just grab the S50J. This is a really quiet and mellow sounding guitar. Not really a guitar for me, or not something that I'm looking for, especially combined with a large body F50C. I can see why people would like this. This is a really easily playable nylon string guitar. And you get all the Lowden aesthetic with it, a beautiful looking guitar. On a stage, I think this is also a really fine nylon string on a stage. But for now, I'm leaning towards one of the F50Cs. And I'm thinking it is the Walnut F50C. got a really nice batch of some vintage Gibsons in. This one is from 1959 actually. So we're going for the second choice of new arrivals. It will be a vintage Gibson, an electric as well. We're going to start off with a 1959 ES5 Switchmaster. So a really, really rare guitar. Only 167 of these blonde ES5 Switchmasters were made, and only 33 were made in 1959. So it's pretty special to have this one in our store right now. Of course, we call it a Switchmaster because of this really obvious switch. So you get, as it says here, maybe you can read this, pickup 1, pickup 2, pickup 3, and all of them together. Essentially, this is sort of like an L5, but then combined with a lot of electronics in here. There's some patchwork here on the top, as you can see. Perhaps there might have been some other controls here in the past. There has been a Bixby on here. You see the drill holes over there. Another maybe a master volume at one time over here. Beautiful flamed maple. But this is only the first of the vintage Gibsons. There's one that's actually one of my favorites in terms of Gibson hollow bodies. And for that we're going back in time to 1955. Another big hollow body. And now it's all gold. An ES295. Have a look at this. An all gold ES295 from, we think, 1955, maybe early 1955. It's between 54 and 55, I think, and we're doing some more investigation into it. That always happens after the Monday on which we shoot this video. But in 1955, they switched to a 20th fret on the fingerboard, and right now we see 19 frets here. So that would suggest maybe 54 or early 55. Essentially, this is a fancy ES175, so we have a 16.25-inch archtop guitar. And now we have the all gold finish with some engravings on the pickguard here as well. Gold hardware as well on top of the gold finish. All in all, just a really cool guitar. I think Scotty Moore played an ES295 as well during his time with Elvis. I have to look that up, but I think he did. Just a really cool guitar. But there's another vintage Gibson that I want to throw in the mix, and that's also a 1955 one. But that one is a little bit more bare bones. And this one comes as a set. We have a GA5 amplifier. Let me show you the back as well. How cool is this? This already spoils the surprise. A Les Paul Junior, it says. Kalamazoo, Michigan. So this is a pretty low wattage Class A amplifier. And this came as a set with this guitar that I'm showing you right now. Non-original case, of course. And this was also a guitar that was marketed for guitar students. That's why it came like a practicing combo. A Les Paul Junior from 1955. And I always find these Les Paul Juniors to be surprisingly versatile as an electric guitar. You can get quite a lot of tones out of a single P90, not if you only open it all the way, but tone it back a little, and maybe you can also get some cleaner sounds, go back even more, and sometimes it almost sounds like an acoustic guitar when strumming. You can see this has been played a lot. Time has taken its toll on this guitar. You see a lot of crackling in the finish, but I think it's a cool look. I see a refret as well, really thick and wide frets on here. Mostly that's an improvement on the playability, if you ask me. So then it's a question of which vintage Gibson are we going to choose. Would be nice to make a demo with that amplifier as well. Would be nice how it would sound like if people were practicing back in the day. Laura, all gold, 295 or Les Paul Junior? What do you think?
This one.
This one, Timon?
Les Paul Junior.
Les Paul Junior. So it's already 2 votes. Let's see who's coming here. Martijn.
Yeah.
Les Paul Junior, all gold, 295.
Junior.
It's clear. The winner has been chosen. It's out of my hands. We're going with a 1955 Gibson Les Paul Junior together with the GA5 amp. Let's see if we demo this or one of the Bad Cat amps, but this is my second choice. The objective for the third round is to find a nice and boutique OM or O size guitar. I see a few that might make the pick this week. This is a guitar by Sergei de Jonge. The name might suggest that he is a Dutch man, but he's a Canadian man. Somewhere in the forest in Quebec, he builds beautiful guitars. This is a OM by Sergei de Jonge. We call this a Grand OM. So it's a little bit wider than a standard OM guitar, and we have Black Limba on the back and sides, which I think is a really beautiful, unique look. I saw some people online calling this deluxe mahogany, so I'm thinking it sounds a little bit towards the mahogany side of the spectrum. We also see the Black Limba coming back here along the sound hole. This was built by Sergei in 2023, and he actually got his start as an apprentice of Jean Larrivée, who was then building only classical guitars back then, and now Sergei is known as one of the best luthiers out there, and we're just big fans of his. Let's check out how this sounds. You can really feel sort of the grand nature of this design when playing it. It sounds really wide and full. It sounds a little bit different to mahogany, to my ears, maybe a little bit drier in a way, but I really love the sound of this. This one was also built in 2023, the OM by Bourgeois, with the back and sides made out of Panama rosewood. Have a look at this. Ooh, a really light toned rosewood. The beautiful natural stripe here in the middle. And we have aged tone Adirondack. On the top here we have torrefied Adirondack braces on this as well. The lovely herringbone trim. And Laura pointed out you also see this wider stripe also along the sides here. Just looks beautiful. Another beautiful OM from Lewiston, Maine. Let's check out the sound of this one. Another wonderful sounding OM, much more like a traditional sort of OM28 sound. A wonderful low end on this Panama rosewood. I'm not making my mind up yet. I do think the Sergei de Jonge maybe has a little bit more of a unique sound that I'm not really familiar with, so that surprised me. Then there's one more guitar, a slightly smaller body by Collings. This is an O42. So a wonderful O-size guitar with a 12th fret neck joint. We have all the 42 style inlays everywhere. We have a rosewood back and sides, an Adirondack spruce top, and this is part of the traditional series. So compared to the standard ones, these tend to have a little bit less shimmery high end, but a more open sound and a little bit more broken in feel compared to the standard series. This is way more of a finger picker guitar than the last two. It sounds a little bit more focused, of course. You get that with a single O design. Right now, I'm a little bit more drawn towards the first two, so the Bourgeois and the Sergei de Jonge. Though we can all agree that this is a wonderful guitar. So this is up on the website pretty soon, so you can go and check it out. I think I'm leaning more towards the Sergei de Jonge. Also because it's not a brand that we see too often, and we don't feature his guitars too often. And also the fact that it is a Black Limba body, which I don't see a lot as well. So we're going with the Sergei de Jonge Grand OM as our third choice. Alright, we still have a few guitars from the Dutch Artshop Museum left. So I think we're going to open most of them. I'm going to pick one of them for our fourth and final choice. I'm going mostly off of looks because I don't have the time right now to play all of them, but together we are going to decide. This is the first one I spot, an Epiphone Byron. This is one of the smaller acoustic archtops, a simpler design and one more of the deluxe end of the spectrum. This one is from 1951. We do have demos of most of these up on our demo channel. Next up is in 1939 Epiphone Zenith. Slightly larger body, as you can see. Still on the affordable side of the Epiphone lineup, also during this time. And I do have a personal connection with this particular Epiphone Zenith. I've told this story before, but maybe for the people that haven't heard it yet. I did own an Epiphone Zenith once, a few years back. That one had the serial number 13778. And Ruud, who has the Dutch Artshop Guitar Museum with all the beautiful Epiphones, only lives a few kilometers from my house. So I messaged him and I said, I have a beautiful Zenith, I found it. It has serial number 13778. And it turned out that he had 13777. And that one is in my hands right now. So those were brothers. They were probably rolling out of the factory on the same day. And all these years later, they ended up almost exactly in the same spot in the Netherlands, of all places. So for now, this is my choice, the Zenith. But I see some other interesting guitars there as well, including a Joseph Bowman. Maybe some of you have seen this guitar already in the short documentary that we made about the Dutch Artshop Museum. Just check this out. 1910s, Joseph Bowman. What an incredible archtop design. A design that hasn't caught on through the years. You see here, there's a peculiar button as well. You can press that. There are some internal rods inside of the guitar that are sympathetic, so they vibrate together with your playing. That was the idea, at least. Some beautiful pieces of flame maple on here, actually. Check this out. From the 1910s, just a feat of guitar engineering. Another bigger bodied archtop, an Epiphone Triumph from 1947. So we made demos together with Dusty Cigar and Nick Cruz, and they played some wonderful tunes on these guitars, and their playing really suits these guitars very well. So please go check them out if you like these kind of acoustic archtops. Another wonderful Epiphone, quite a large body. I think I still prefer the Zenith that I just saw. Of course, due to nostalgic reasons as well. So I ended up with the Zenith again. I think I'm going with this one. Hi, Bill. What do you think? Epiphone Zenith? You like it? I think it's also a nice combination together with the Les Paul Junior, because these slightly more affordable archtops during this time were also aimed at the students, the guitar students. So we have two student guitars from different eras, let's say. So this 1939 Epiphone Zenith, serial number 13777, is my fourth and final choice. So that was yet another episode of New Arrivals. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave a comment down below which is your favorite of this week. Let's see if I have a favorite. I think it's either the Sergei de Jonge or the Les Paul Junior together with the amp. Laura, do you have a favorite?
For me, it's the Sergei de Jonge.
Sergei de Jonge, alright. Please leave a comment down below or vote in the poll as well in the community side of our YouTube page. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, then please do so and like this video, if you like it, of course. And we hope to see you in next week's episode of New Arrivals. Until then.